United choking again. Are United officially a mid-table team now?
A relegation team.
They're a relegation team. Do we think
I think
Amorim? Yeah, go ahead.
I don't think you can. I mean, a team that hasn't finished where they historically used to in a very long time. I haven't seen United in a top four conversation for a few years now. It hasn't like it's been one season. Ever since Ferguson left, United has dropped every single year. And we don't know if it's backroom or coaches or whatever, but I think that United of old it's a topic to speak about, but United of now is how they're looking against Everton and how they're looking against Brentford. They're not expected to win many games, so I would put them below mid-table.
Is Amorim the right coach for them?
I don't think there's a right coach for them on this planet. I think Amorim has. I don't think he's a good coach, to be honest. I mean, your success has come from Portugal. There's only 3 teams in Portugal. I think a blind person can coach one of those 3 teams and still finish in a Champions League finish. So I don't think he's that good of a coach to come to the Premier League and to say that I'm playing with one formation, one structure. I think it's quite childish because every team will just pick it up, make a game plan to go against you, and you're going to lose. There's no two ways about it.
There are a few teams that use that structure quite successfully in the Premier League. Crystal Palace is being one of them. They use the same system.
Palace can go from a back 3 with wide wings in their, let's say, a back 5 that's attacking to, okay, now we actually need to defend. So they'll maybe go to a more defensive back 5. A forward can drop in, solidify the midfield. So, yeah, they have that formation, but the structures within the formation are different. It looks like Amorim plays with the same structure, the same positions, the same positioning. It doesn't change.
So should he keep his job then?
No. Well, for the rest of the league, yeah.
I want him to keep his job.
Yeah.
Well, I think the players need to start stepping up. You can't always sack the manager.
That's the thing, yeah. I think they're getting to a point where, I mean, like you said, they've just been sacking managers season after season, but they haven't seen any changes. The players have stayed the same. The managers keep changing, but it just seems like they're getting worse.
If you look at their buyers, I really don't rate Mbeumo for a team like, if I was a United fan and Mbeumo's, he's decent, he's all right. But if I'm a United fan, I want, the likes of competing for a top striker. Then you want to guys are going after Isak because he's a top striker in the Premier League or someone with the most promise. Obviously, Haaland's the top, but someone with, that can compete with him. I'm not buying Mbeumo, I'm going to compete for Isak, but then, United don't have the depth or the kind of the promise. There's no draw for Isak to want to go to United as well. So even if they were to go for someone like him, they're probably not even going to get him. But they're not going for those guys anyways, I don't think.
But then the question also has to be asked, why does every single United player without fail that leaves United during this period end up being actual very good players wherever they go?
Except for
McTominay, Anthony, Rasmus Højlund. I mean, Garnacho's had one game for Chelsea. Let's give him a few weeks.
Chelsea have not won a game since Garnacho's joined.
Marcus Rashford.
Yeah, but also since Garnacho's joined, there's been red cards every game. So
there has, yeah.
But yeah, Marcus Rashford, So why does every United player that leaves United, that are apparently problem players, end up being very good footballers and actually key footballers for the clubs that they play for?
That's something that needs to be studied because the majority of them have been doing well. I mean, look at Anthony at
So then maybe it
Pacers.
is the coaching then. Maybe it is the system.
McTominay was one of United's best players and arguably shouldn't have been sold in the first place. And Conte's used him as a striker or as an attacking player, where United were using him as a DM. So the managers aren't using the players in the correct positions. You could argue that, but the quality of the player, like Anthony, he's an all right player, but he's not gonna he's not 100 million, 90 million player, whatever they.
No, he's average. He's an average player.
Thinking.
You can't
And
buy
he's
average players and expect to win.
Yeah,
Even if
he's
they
shy
do
But
decent
he
at
goes
another
from
team.
they go from like, okay, Anthony was bought for what, close to 100 from Ajax. He goes to United. The guys who would it be bought for 5 million? He goes to Betis. He's at least a 20, 30 million pound player. He's not world class. And then McTominay goes from playing as a CDM for United to, okay, granted it's Italy, but playing under Conte, who uses him in the right position, which a good coach would see. And he's in a Ballon d'Or topic. Obviously, he's never going to win it, but he's there.
And even when he was at Scotland and playing for United, McTominay was banging in goals for Scotland. I mean, the player was always there. So
yes, so it's obviously a coaching thing then.
I mean, it must be because I mean, I don't rate Bruno Fernandes at all. I don't think he's a fantastic player, but when he's in the right position, he's not completely useless. Where right now he has been arguably just absolutely rubbish for Man United, missing penalties and not tracking back, letting attacking players run past him. He's been, but then again, he's not playing as an attacking midfielder. He's playing more of an 8, which means you've got to learn how to defend, which he doesn't do.
Yeah, that whole system is, like I think Amorim has his system, and then he tries to squeeze, square players into round positions. Like you can't play Bruno as an 8. You can't have Amad Diallo as your defensive right-sided player. You can't have Mazraoui as a right centre back. Like you can't have Mbeumo tucking infield. He needs to be wide. And then you have Sheshko, who's not prem proven, who has to go and sit up top alone without a 10 because that system has no 10s.
So where does United finish then this season, based on what we've seen so far?
17th.
It's quite a statement,
Spursy.
just above relegation season.
I mean, I honestly think relegation, but I think they have enough money to maybe bring in someone in January to save them.
I don't think a change of coach is going to do anything. I don't think they'll get relegated. I think they'll finish not in the top 10, but between 11th and 14th. They're currently in 14th. That's where I think they'll be.
I don't think we should also take away, like, got to give Brentford credit, though.
No, for sure. Brentford played very well. There was a bit of a controversial decision in that game. A lot of people believe that Collins should have been given a red card when he gave away that penalty. VAR didn't agree.
Isn't the rules now that if it's a penalty, it's a yellow, and if it's outside the box, it's a red?
But it's based on the rules. It's a straight red if it's a goal scoring opportunity. So, for instance, last man, even in the box, it would still be a red card.
I don't think Peter Crouch would have reached that ball. He wasn't reaching that ball. He felt contact and he fell backwards. He wasn't going to get that ball.
I mean,
that's probably why VAR decided against it.
VAR is always going to be involved in games nowadays, and you can't. I mean, I've seen a lot of fans just say you can't allow that to be the the factor anymore. I mean, decisions go against you, decisions go for you. I mean, you just got to play your game. At the end of the day, United, which is they were rubbish. You can't blame not having a
Just
race.
looking at I don't know, like you look at the first goal, I think a defensive error. Can you blame the system on that?
There's
And
too
then
many
Maguire was
holes.
trying to play an offside trap, was too slow to track back. I mean, it was a power finish,
Yeah.
but it was pretty much left him with a one-on-one. Then,
Why is Maguire being left in a one-on-one in the first place?
okay, but then it comes down to one. That's what I was saying. Like it's one man. It's one man that's making a mistake and it's killing the game. Same thing we'll chat with Chelsea, but you know, and you know when we play soccer, you're putting in so much effort. You're playing, you know, so well. You're keeping it's an intense game, and then like your keeper scores an own goal, you know, something like that, and then it just kills the momentum.
Mm.
It kills the spirit.
Yeah, but Amorim needs to understand that he doesn't have players that he can 100% trust to have a solid game week in, week out. You need to set up a system that if a player does make a mistake, there's probably going to be somebody nearby to help fix it. Whereas Igor Jesus receives the ball, or Igor Thiago, whatever his name is, receives the ball with no one around him and can just
What a
run
finish,
at the
though.
fridge.
Yeah, it was a powerful finish.
What a
I mean,
finish.
and then you're shooting at Bayern Dia, it's open goals basically. So
No
hit it
keeper
hard
was
and on target.
no keeper was stopping that. Not a single keeper was stopping that first one.
Yes, Brentford played very well. They deserved the win, but also again, games level. United get the opportunity to have a pen. Bruno Fernandes steps up, misses, takes a soft penalty against Kelleher.
If he scores that penalty, do United lose?
Probably, but
But even the second goal, like it was a bit, you know, it's not. It wasn't. I think once the wingers got the ball, you know, he tries to cross it, comes off the keeper, and then gets tapped in. The mistakes came before that. A ball over the
Yeah, I mean,
top. No one challenged for it.
Brentford deserved to win that game. That's for sure. They dominated United. United couldn't handle the long ball game that they were playing, the long throw-ins, the long passes over the top. They just couldn't handle it.
yep.
And who knew Jordan Henderson still knew how to play soccer?
This Brentford system is made for him. Is get the ball and kick it up.
Kick it long. I mean,
Just go long.
I think, and I don't know if, but it seems like to be a lot more of a strategy now. And I was quite surprised because Brentford, they're playing Route 1. It's almost like how Stoke City used to play. Long throw-ins, hit it up to a big, powerful striker, and it worked. And it seems like it's starting to come back and it's starting to work again. This manager
that's
that
what
they've
it's-
brought
I think
in.
it's a lot more
That's-
attractive than a Stoke though. I mean, they were stringing some really nice passes together.
Yeah, so maybe it's a bit of a Stoke 2.0, I guess you could say. There's a
Yeah.
bit more attractiveness to it, a bit more football to it, but there's still the long, heavy ball up front. When those corners are in, you've got the big guys in there. When it's a throw in on
That's
the side,
what's-
you've got your Rory Delap throws coming in.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
what
but
And I
Mick
wonder,
did to
am I allowed
Chelsea.
to share like a highlight on this pod, or is it like what's it called, copyright issues and stuff?
Yeah, it would be copyright because if you were sharing like a football highlight that's from like Supersport or something, it would be flagged as copyright.
It's not from Supersport.
What's it from?
It's from the Premier League.
Oh yeah, then it
Worse.
would still be flagged. Yeah, they come
Unless you should.
especially for this content. They come after you if you use anything to
Yeah.
try and to get views and stuff like that. That's copyrighted.
Mm.
Like if it was like badminton, then maybe you get away with it. But for football,
Let's put badminton highlights on.
Yeah, I would
and I
love
was,
to.
I was
I
just
would
gonna
love
show
to
a
put
play
highlights to
of them
show.
putting just a. It was in the 62nd minute. It was a very good like ball through, and the ball fell to. I don't know who it was, but he was sitting in the middle of the. He received it sort of just top of the box. He had no one around him, and yeah, you have the game in front of you, you can see it. But again, from watching the game, I just think it's and maybe like you said, it's like a deeper issue that the system internally is messed up, and the players just don't have the motivation, and that's
Yeah,
what's making them. They just don't want to play. They don't have the heart to fight
yeah,
for their team anymore. I don't know.
yeah, for sure.